Alright, y'all, what's going on? What's going on? Shout out to my new and old and my TikTok family. But no further ado, I'm gonna get right into this one, you guys. It's gonna be a short one, but let's go.
Spiritually.
Loneliness is something that's going to be afflicting a lot of people in 20.
In their 30s, as soon as I started listening, because women in their 30s are desperate.
Normalizing being single.
The cat is out of the bag. Modern women are actually lonely.
I'm 33, turning 34 next month, and I'm just fucking done dating.
I think it might be time to normalize being single and alone.
Men and women experience loneliness very differently.
We need to normalize being young and being...
How about we normalize shame? Sleeping around makes you lonely, not powerful. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
I think I'm quite lonely, and I feel really bad for saying that because I have friends. It's not that I don't have friends, but everybody grows up and has different interests, and I kind of don't know where I fit in anymore. It's 6:15. I am halfway ready for bed. I'm not really hungry. I don't think... How do you make friends in your 30s? And I do have friends. It's not that I don't have anyone to turn to, but where do I get hobbies? Where do I meet new people? How do you, if you're not married and you don't have kids, and I don't know, maybe I don't go out and drink a lot anymore, and I just don't know what. I sound really moody, and I also don't... I like to be quite upbeat, even though I am horribly depressed, but I don't know. I just feel really lost. Just thought I'd share it in case you feel the same.
The problem she's having is that she has no one in her personal life. There's only a certain gap your friends can fill up. Sometimes you start yearning that emotional closeness with a partner. You start wanting to fall in love. A lot of women are going through it after being single for a long time. This is just a phase they're going through.
Men and women experience loneliness very differently. Men have a tendency to feel lonely because they don't have the...
If you guys are enjoying the content, go ahead and tap that screen. For those that are watching the replay on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's go.
Options for partnership. Women feel as if the options are not the right ones for them. Which way do you feel? Do you agree with this as a man or a woman? How do you experience loneliness?
Some of us just accept defeat.
First of all, you're never lonely when you have the Most High God. So if you had the Most High, you would never feel lonely. Therefore, if you're saying you do have God and you're saying you're lonely, you're a liar.
We're broken and scarred with negative memories, so therefore too frightened to even try again. I feel loneliness by thinking the options are not the right ones, and I am a man. If a man were to feel lonely today, it would be because in this generation, the expectations he has to meet is just ridiculous. Therefore, because he can't meet them, he chooses to stay by himself. Most of them have had very peaceful lives without a woman. Back then, a man could have gotten a woman without having to do all of these crazy things today. But times has changed. Women feel lonely because they are looking for perfection, a man with no flaws that ticks all their boxes. Little do they know, that man only exists in their imagination. No one is perfect. So because of that, they will continue to suffer.
This man holds no punches, but I mean, he is not lying. Not one lie told.
Their delusion is the only cause for their loneliness.
Why do men not understand hints? Why do I have to spell every fucking thing out? Why can't you just one simple little hinting at this? Can understand what I'm trying to say? I don't want to have to spell everything out like I'm your mother.
I think it might be time to normalize.
Yeah, so gentlemen, you just seen that last woman. Do you find that attractive? That she's going to act like she's going to jump you if you don't pick up on her signals? It's ridiculous out here. These women are in such masculine energy and outside their frame. Don't even realize it, man. Don't even realize it. It makes you very unattractive. I don't care what you say. I don't care what threats you make. It makes you very unattractive, period.
Being single and alone. I'm really sick of people making it sound like, in order to be happy, like in your future and everything else, you have to find your person, because people will be like, oh, don't worry, you'll find someone eventually, or something along those lines. And it's like, okay, but it's okay if I don't also. And by you saying that kind of makes me feel worse about not finding someone. And like, I shouldn't. Like, it's absolutely okay. Some people don't find their person in life. A lot of people don't. And I feel especially nowadays with the way things have changed. So maybe let's just, get rid of the stigma that you have to be with someone and just embrace being single, because it's okay.
I've realized this is something that women in their 30s are telling themselves, so they...
Yeah, see, this is cope, and this is how modern women cope. They're using the internet for therapy, and we're all being drugged through their therapy sessions online when they post this crap up. So now we have to listen to women that we have never slept with, never gonna sleep with, talk their crazy, babbling nonsense. It's crazy.
They can feel comfortable with the lifestyle choices they've made. They also have this saying where 40s is the new 20s, which is absolutely not true, because there are women in their 40s that's struggling with dating. If being single at 30 is...
Women can say whatever they want to make themselves feel better, but you're a man. You know doggone well a 20-year-old and a 40-year-old are two different women. We're not going to go into the mileage analogies and stuff like that, but their bodies are not going to be the same. They're not going to be able to handle the same, pounding in the bedroom days in a row. They're going to be jaded and think that the jade that they're carrying around and bitterness is insight that they've gathered from all the horrible experiences that they've had with these males that they've picked. But they're going to call it wisdom, right? No, it's trauma. It's trauma. That's the main difference between them, outside of, obviously, the coochie, but the trauma.
Something these women choose to do. I hope they realize, going on forward, it doesn't get any easier.
There is a study by Morgan Stanley Financial. They did you can go find it too. It's online. It's called The Rise of the She Economy. In that sort of research, they postulate that by 2030, women between the ages of 25 and 44, something like 52%. I hope I'm getting my numbers right. Something like 45 to 52%.
It's over half.
Yeah, over half.
It's going to be over half
of women of marriageable age will be single for the rest of their lives. They will not reproduce unless they get unless they get artificial insemination, but they will be unmarried and childless during those ages by 2030, which is like a very, very steep incline. In fact, they are so certain of this that they did this research on Morgan Stanley so their investors would know what to invest in the coming decade.
Well, fellas, now that you know what to invest in the coming years, what exactly is stopping you? This trend of women being single and lonely is only going to get worse and worse.
And, with that being by 2030, they're only going to get more angry, and they're going to lash out for a little while longer. And it's going to go from just any other woman's emotion, from lashing out to kind of crying and then trying to rebrand herself and put herself back out there and try to... Best thing to do is get on top of your game right now. Get your money right, everything right. You know what I'm saying? Follow your purpose. Get right with God. Get your clout build up. So by the time these women come around, man, you're in such a good place. You're overseas dating. It won't even matter. And all this babbling and the craziness that's been going on right now, you can make reference, but hey, go back to 2024, 2023, maybe even 2025. With all that craziness y'all were talking, right? Lashing out about everything. You know what I'm saying?
I guess the saying was right after all. The enemy of humanity is humanity itself.
Loneliness is something that's going to be afflicting a lot of people in
Yes,
2024.
yes.
So now more than ever before, it is important for you to affirm yourself and really double down on those relationships. Contrary to popular belief around like, 2024 is starting afresh, it's time to cut off friendships. No, sis, it's time for you to hold on and hang on tight to the dear friendships that you have, the sisters that you have in your life. Now is the time for you to make sure that you are good, right?
Listening to these women that don't have men is the reason why single women stay single. They are going to make you feel good because they're saying stuff that justifies your current life situation. But if you think about it and you don't want to stay there, why are you listening to pandering females that's just making money off of you? You ladies got to wake up.
And tight with those sisters, because it's those sisters that will carry you from the beginning of 2024 to the end of your lifetime. So please.
Most of the time I love being single. I am very comfortable being single. But tonight I hung out with friends and I had a great time. And then I was driving home and I started feeling this like wave of depression and anxiety. And I wasn't really sure what it was related to or where it was stemming from. And then I got home and I felt like just so sad and lonely. And I walked into my empty apartment and I thought, God, I wish that I had someone who could just hold me right now. Like, I wish that I had someone who could just take care of me, because I have to take care of myself every single day and it's fucking exhausting, and I just want someone to take care of me every now and then.
Well, that's what adults are required to do, to take care of themselves. So many girls get to that point in their lives where their friends are in good relationships while they're not. They get tired of being an adult and want someone to take care of them. Loneliness is a thing that's in everybody, but when you live your life and not allowing anybody into your life when you're younger, you start feeling it when you're older. Men and women experience loneliness very, very differently. In her case, it sounds like she's looking for someone to come handle her baggages because it's too much to handle on her own.
I've reached my breaking point of having to do this life thing alone. I just want to be held, nurtured, loved, cared for, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, in all aspects. I want my heart and soul to be seen and held. I just can't do it alone anymore, and I'm at my breaking point. I can do it physically alone. I've been doing it, but I don't want to. I don't deserve to, because I am worthy of companionship, of community, of love, of affection, of support, of someone lifting me up, motivating me, encouraging.
Man, brothers, you will never know how entitled women are until you start watching these videos that they post. Even if there's satire or skits, there's still, you know what I'm saying, like truth and jest. You know, that's why comedians, what they say resonate so much, because they're really telling you like a lot of truths. They're just funny people by nature, right? Man, this woman, she's so entitled, and she has all kind of guys in her DMs, but it's not that right mix of bad boy, honest purpose, you know what I mean, Sigma. You know, and the Sigma guys are not going to never chase them. So they're in this paradox where it's like, we want these kind of guys, but we can't get them. We have guys coming after us, but they're not the kind of guys that they want. Messy work.
Encouraging me. I am worthy of that. So I deserve to receive that. I don't want to do it alone anymore. And I've been crying all day because of it.
I understand being alone and lonely can be a painful thing to endure. But these women come on the camera and cry about how hard it is, but keep forgetting to look in their friend zone. I'm sure they can find a guy there who's been trying to get with them.
In her DMs, in her friend zone.
They can look at their inbox messages. The thing is, these women aren't doing that because they're all looking for a certain type of man. There's so many good men out here. Another issue is this right here. This woman said, "Your definition of a good man isn't ours." The kind
Yeah,
of
see?
good man they're looking
Yeah.
for is the guy who accepts their bullshit no matter what. The guy who's gonna finance their lifestyle while they kick their feet up. So many good guys have been burned in marriages. If a good man isn't good enough for you, then no man is good for you. You'll just keep running around in circles being passed around. Another thing I notice is that the good man is always enough for a good woman. It's always the modern birds the good man isn't enough for.
Something I had to learn is that it's okay to admit that you're lonely. I think as a strong, independent Black woman, as a strong, independent woman, I think it is like this notion of you take care of yourself. And like, I think people look at me and they're like, you're so strong, you go on these trips, you do all these things. And yeah, I do that, but I still like crave partnership, right, and companionship. And I think in my last video when I shared that I went out to eat by myself because I was lonely, it's okay to admit that, like, yeah, some days I do want to lay on the couch and cuddle, right? Like, I do a lot for myself. And in this economy, taking care of your house, paying your bills, doing all the things by yourself is draining. So shout out to you if you also do that. But it is okay to do all those things and still want and crave, like, the intimacy that comes with spending time with someone, right? Going on dates, all the things. I think the moral of what I'm saying is that it's okay to be lonely. It's okay to want to go on dates, right? It's okay to crave intimacy. Like, these are normal feelings. So don't ever feel bad about it. And I think if we shared it more, it would just help. So this is me sharing it more. Have a good day.
She is correct. It is okay to want these things. It is also okay to not date a woman who's claiming to be a strong, independent woman. For most girls, this is what's keeping them single. They think proclaiming to men that being independent is somehow a...
I want y'all to know also that's a trigger response. Like, if you need to run around and tell everybody you're independent, like, it's implied. If you're an adult, it's a trigger. Like, they feel insecure. They need to reassure themselves with saying it. You know what I'm saying? They're really reassuring themselves.
attractive when it's really a turn-off.
My question is, why are these beautiful women single, bro? Why the fuck am I single, bro? Why the fuck am I single? Guys, I've been single. I'm gonna be single. Oh my, I'm gonna be single for 4 fucking years now.
You are single because you say, bro, way too...
Bruh, listen, you think that this woman, she's been single and celibate? See, that right there is the worst. When a woman says, like, she's been single for a long period of time, we're talking about getting ran through, going on vacation, getting that anaconda from Jamaica. I'm telling you, man, when they're talking about, oh, I've been single for like 2-3 years, oh, man, you ain't even had a man. Oh, man, you ain't even got a guy you got to worry about cheating on. You can just go fling it around to anybody. When the woman's like, yeah, I've been single for like 2-3 years, like, I'm good. They're not doing like what I'm doing and working on themselves and being celibate. They act like by saying that they're single, it's implied. No, we know what women do when they're single. They get liberated. We know what liberated means. Running around trying to figure out which slong you like the most and knocking out those dudes that you've been, having DMing you for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? And sucking on a lot of D. That's all it's going to be. Sucking on a lot of D. Nah, I'm good. Got dick on the breath. Y'all good. I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? This chick right here got dick on the breath. Nah, I'm good.
Too much. Another thing is, these women choose to be single. They're just looking for a specific type of guy to date. And because other women are also competing for that same type of man, it makes it even...
They want that same type of guy, but they're still going to cheat on that dude, man. It don't matter what dude that they have. These certain types of females will always be messy. It doesn't matter if they will self-sabotage once they get that dream guy. I'm telling you, man.
And harder. So overall, she's single because the guy that she wants does not want her.
I want to see what all the 40-year-old faces look like.
Hi, I'm 40. 40 is like the new 20.
No, it's
okay?
not. No, it's
Everything is better in your 40s.
I am 39, and no, it is not. Why are they trying to fool people? Man, in your 20s, you can work out, drink all night, eat what you want. You know what I'm saying? And you are good. If you do those things in your 40s, you will feel all of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to take care of yourself. You got to stretch. You got to do all that. Get the proper sleep. You can't be just eating and drinking crazy. Man, please. Your stomach will be tore up the entire next day. Pretty much out of commission. Don't let anybody fool you. We're out here, you know what I'm saying? We're growing and aging gracefully. But we're not going to try to compete with those people, man. They're in their 20s, man. Let them have it. These ladies don't want to let it go. They don't want to age, man. They don't want to let it go. It's sad, man. That's why social media sucks, because women can look at old pictures of themselves, and when you're looking at old stuff, you're like, oh man, I used to look like, you know, and that's how women associate their worth and beauty and from their youth and whatnot. So they're watching themselves age from the social media in their own pictures, whereas a guy, you know, we don't even look at it like that. We just like look at it like, you know, yeah, I'm maturing good. You know what I'm saying? I'm healthy. I ain't clocking out my late 50s like the statistics say. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we're worried about. And they're just over here worrying about, like, aging and looking old, looking their actual age. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Everything. And I mean everything. So bring it on, 40. I just turned 40. Have a good day.
Smiling while telling lies. 40 is not the new 20, and nothing is easier.
Men can't believe that women are single by choice because men aren't single by choice.
What an interesting statement.
It's a goddamn lie. Okay? We're the only ones single by choice. Women are always, when they're by themselves, thinking about dying. You know what I'm saying? In some kind of capacity. Getting worried about hypothetical men, taking them out the game, or just aging out and dying alone. They're always thinking about stuff like that. They're not really built for the most part to be alone. Guys, man, you're thinking about your mortality at a very young age, with all of society basically showing you and telling you that you're a dime a dozen. Now you can be sacrificed at any time. You know, whereas women, it's like when they start coming to terms with their mortality in their 30s and whatnot, it's just like they just go into this crazy mode. Whereas if they just get right with God, accept the life you have here, and know that not a single day is promised, regardless of whatever, you know, age you are, you know, and be glad that you have seen a certain amount of years that a lot of people don't get to see. They don't make it. So I just, you know, a reevaluation of what and how they think is probably necessary. But the way they project it onto us, one man acts like he can't handle or don't like being alone. We're not the ones acting like we can't be alone. What man acts that way? None.
I cannot wait to hear what one is basing that off of.
They may be finding women to go on dates with, but nothing's sticking.
Okay, well that happens for women as well. So what exactly is this leading up to?
And so they're lashing out at women, saying things like, have fun being single, or enjoy your cats.
Not all men say things like that.
Sir, that's the whole...
No, not all, but I do. And I do. And they really do be having cats. So, you know, if you feel like it's a little bit of shade, it probably is, but there's still a lot of truth in it.
The point is that I am having fun being single, and I love my cats.
So that means that one is single by choice, right? So why can a woman be single by choice, but not a man?
I also love my peace of mind, not having to be accountable to somebody who isn't really that interested. He's not interested in me and my life and things that I want and need.
And there it is. That is actually the reason why a lot of men are now choosing to remain single, for that very reason.
As men age alone, it is not good.
Oh, really?
And the men are not okay. But I'm finding that as I age, I am getting happier and happier with myself and my girlfriends and my family. And the idea of having to accommodate a man's insecurities or even securities is just less and less appealing.
Do they really think that this, like, do they think this sounds good? Like when they have this, you know, verbal vomit session where they're just spilling all of their insecurities and projecting them. How would she know what men think and if they're good or if they're not? She's not a man. Why is she putting words in our mouth? You know, listen, if she was such a man whisperer, she'd have one. It's getting ridiculous out here. And, you know, I don't know her age, but it don't look like she's aging gracefully. All that malice, it'll, you know, it'll wear on your soul. You gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying?
And with that, one actually nailed the reason why a lot of men are also choosing to remain single, because oftentimes it's simply more peaceful.
I appreciate you joining the live stream. I don't know. You tell me. Does she look like she's single and happy? Answer me that. Getting online and being upset like does she look like she's single and happy? Are you single and happy? Because the way I look at it, when you have to defend yourself, whatever stance you have, and it's not in a way of calm nature, you're probably not that happy. And if you have to, I don't know, like just be scrolling and you run across a handsome guy and whatever he's saying triggers you, is that single and happy as well? It's the middle of the night. Is it ever too late? If you're single and happy, why are you asking me questions in the chat? I don't sound like a single and happy person or happy person. Why can't you just sit back and enjoy the show? You're just here to watch a handsome guy anyway. Why do you care? You know what I'm saying?
It's as simple as that.
23 and I've never had a boyfriend, and this is why I think I've always been single.
Boys, I appreciate you joining me. Well, however it appears to you is your perspective, okay? And your perspective is not fact or the actual reality. Your perspective is from your years of experience on this plane with whoever you've been with and however you live your life. Now, that is not my perspective, okay? So however it appears to you, it can appear that way. Now, you trying to project that perspective on me while I'm minding my business is a little bit strange. If you're looking for a friend, then just go ahead and say it. But as far as trying to give me your ideology and why you think and believe that this woman is da-da-da-da-da-da-da, why waste your time? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm making a video to put on my YouTube channel. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, who cares?
Or bad boys?
Bad boys. Bad boys.
What made you not want him?
I thought he was too nice. Most girls won't admit this, but for your sake, I will. I hate nice guys.
This is a reminder that finding someone who's willing to grow is more important than finding a perfect partner.
See, gentlemen, see, they don't want no nice dude. They don't want no nice dude. Chick just said it straight out. I'm just going to tell you. You know what a nice dude is? A pandering beta. Women can smell the coochie on them. You know what I'm saying? That's what the nice guys are. Even when women come over and try to troll or give you their perspective, like this young lady in my comment section right now who's, you know, kind of spamming it. And you know what I'm saying? Those women come through because they find you attractive. They don't really know how to introduce themselves properly due to the masculinity, you know what I'm saying, that they're basking in outside of their feminine frame. But you got to go off the stats. Women don't even acknowledge 80% of men. You must be within that 15% because there's always 5% variable range, right? So even if a woman is like this woman in my comment section coming over here, voicing her alternate opinion of whatever that I'm saying, that must mean I fall within the 15% that she finds attractive because women don't even see 80% of men. You know, you have to keep that stat in mind, right? So if you're speaking your whatever truth, you know, your perspective, and some woman has a counter argument, that woman finds you attractive. If she didn't, she wouldn't waste her time. Women don't waste their time like that.
partner. The fact is, no one will ever be perfect for you. No matter how much you love someone, there will be days when they annoy you. There will be days when you're out of sync. You'll have that thing that you do differently that tends to be a point of contention. Most likely, you'll have different communication styles, and that alone will cause some frustration from time to time. The difference between couples who ultimately crumble and those who thrive is not a lack of friction. It's a willingness to grow with each other. Life is a long journey, and having someone by your side who's willing to grow and learn and be a better partner for you.
Hey, all this stuff sounds good, man, but I'm going to tell you, most of the time, these women, man, when they get bored, they're going to find a reason to leave you. There's no incentive for them to stay. When you get a divorce, do you take half of their stuff? Do they have to really worry about the kids going to you unless you fight in court like I did for like years? No, man. Like, it's no, when they get bored or you're not growing or heaven forbid, you know what I'm saying, you lose your job or you try to go into business on your own, whenever you're on that down period, if that woman is not built like a lady should, she's going to be looking for an exit, and she's going to describe it as, we were going in two different directions and he wasn't, listening to me anymore. It was just, he was worried about, trying to get a job or get this business started up, and I didn't feel the affection or the attention I needed. So it's going to be something like that. It makes no never mind. Who cares? You got to be on top of who you are. Never leave yourself out there to be vulnerable too soon. You need to make this woman earn whatever vulnerability that you're going to give her. Just like the ladies in my comment section trying to get attention, I'm going to give her the attention I feel like giving her when I'm ready to give it to her. Spam the comment section all she wants. You don't get spoken to until I feel like it. And that's how I move. I'm not emotional. I don't care what you say. Most of the time, they're going to try to say something to trigger you to continue to have a conversation and be in your energy. When you're a man in your masculine frame, you don't care. You don't care what some random woman. I'm not over here to be your therapist. I'm not here to be your daddy or your boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here putting content out. Whatever, triggers you're getting from me, they're issues you're going to probably need to heal from, because I'm just a black man on the internet that's just posting his perspective. To get in my comment section and go off, well, got some work to do. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a strong guy, man. You got to know when you're hearing babble and a bunch of stuff that you don't need to be worried about.
Is going to feel a lot better than this idea of a perfect partner. So try widening your parameters for what a great partner will look like for you on the outside and focus in on what they'll look like on the inside.
I agree, but women today aren't looking for someone to grow with. They're looking for someone to fund their lifestyle. If you aren't making a certain amount of money,
they want sponsors. Brothers, they're not even talking about looking for husbands. They've replaced the word husband with provider. So they're no longer looking for a husband. They're looking for providers. Basically, boyfriends that act the role of a husband. And sponsors who are basically not even a boyfriend, just guys that paying their way or whatever to get a little bit of cooch. Man, I'm telling you, you better be focused on yourself. Go on semen retention, go celibate so you can control any urge. So when some woman that thinks that she's super cute comes your way, you can remind her, I'm a grown man. I don't care who you think you are. I am him. You came over here. Settle down, sit down, and enjoy the show.
It's a no-go. Relationships today are risky, little to gain and a lot to lose. It's not about finding love and build a connection anymore.
For all the people out there who are single in their 30s, I just want to remind you, you have time.
No.
So much can happen in 6 months.
No. See, this is the problem. And again, this is why women stay single. Women keep other women single. All this coping. When you have some loser woman, and I say a loser woman, that's a female, because if she does not have a man and a family built from her womb, she is a loser, okay? Just like if a man does not build, something, his wealth, his career, he is a loser, okay? So, all this coping and you have time and this is cope. This is you not accepting reality. This goes to show how delusional they are. That's why they're trying to band together. Oh, sisterhood, sisterhood. Why don't y'all marry each other? Go to sperm banks and leave us alone. Don't jump in our comment sections to check us. We don't care what you fools are saying. Do you understand? Am I expressing it to you, my little concern for whatever you have to say in the comments? We don't care. Okay? This is cope. Get on it. Do what you need to do, or please get off. Just go get yourself a nice lady. Y'all go and do what women that get together do, and with your 80% divorce rate, and then your 75 or 74% domestic violent rate, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Just stop whining over here to us, man. We be minding our business. Stop whining over here to us. You're not going to trigger no responses.
Months, a year, 2 years. For me, this time 3 years ago, I was single as fuck. Not even like single and looking for someone and dating around. No. I was committed to being single. This day, 3 years ago. And today I am in the most loving partnership of my dreams with a man who I'm building an incredible life with. 3 years. So much happened between then and now in a relatively short amount of time. Your timeline is your timeline, but I want to remind you of how long time can actually be. So don't worry. You have plenty of it, and you're on no one's timeline but your own.
No.
I want to be loved.
Y'all are going to hit that wall, I'm telling you, man. You're going to hit the menopause wall. You're going to be having these geriatric pregnancies and needing all these different shots to have the kid. And then you're going to hope the kid don't come out, a little bit slow from all the, I'm telling you, man, you better be realistic. Stop thinking that you out here, you're given, all that you need to get you through life right at birth. All you have to do is keep your bodies low, because y'all are getting passed around so much. We just want you to have under 5. We ain't even saying like none or 1. Under 5, you can't do it. You can't do it. You got to find a way to get some D in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You got to find a way to so-called get experience. No, you want to be, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You want to be dogged out. You want that guy that's going to have you drooling in the bed. You want that guy that's going to give you that experience, and you want to keep having different experiences, chasing that great experience. Then you collecting too many bodies, you get too masculine, then you arguing or trying to argue in the comment sections of black men minding their own business. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy out here nowadays.
I want marriage. A lot of us get on here, we act tough, and we be like, I don't want a man, I don't need a man, but I want help. I want to be loved. I want somebody to love me. I want somebody I can be vulnerable with. The problem is, and I'm not crying out because I'm sad, I'm crying out because it's like a release right now. But the problem for me, y'all,
You get online for therapy. They get online. And some of them are going to therapy too. Listen, man. They use the internet the internet is their boyfriend. They use the internet to connect to people, to get validation, to go off on men that have nothing to do with them. They really are weaponizing social media and the internet. Really. Because, trauma dumping like this ain't good for nobody, to include her. Or, you know what I'm saying, the ones that are, a little bit more screwed up, that troll and jump in comment sections and lose their mind. Right? Like this is not good for anyone. Definitely not good for their psyche. Because most of us men, we're going to just see this kind of stuff, these actions, and be like, ooh, nope, gonna ignore that. And or just like in the comment section, once you show me you're a troll, obviously I'm not going to read any of your comments. How does it feel to see somebody that can ignore and not even look at your comments while continuing to progress through their video? Man, I'm telling you, y'all can't do nothing with a Sigma empath, man. Narcissistic people, cyber narcissists, they can't stand me. This don't work on me.
is that all the relationships that I had with men were not about love. It was about survival for me. I know how to fuck. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to seduce a man. I do not know how to love a man. And then
how how much skill does it take to know how to fuck? Especially when they're a woman, you just kind of really laying there. I mean, especially when it's with me, I'm gonna take control. You ain't gotta know how to do nothing. That is not a skill. That's just by nature. You know what I'm saying? Look. They gotta get themselves back in line, man. You gotta get back in that feminine energy, man. You know, but again, 2030, right around the corner, they're saying the majority, 52% of women are going to be single and childless. Gentlemen, now is the time. I'm telling you straight up what I've been doing. Invest in cat food, kitty litter, anything that involves cats. Somewhat dog stuff, but mainly cats. You must. And bonnets.
To have a son, because of those choices that I was making, y'all, and I got pregnant really, really fast. I got pregnant within 90 days of knowing my baby daddy. And we don't talk about this shit because it's embarrassing and it hurts. It's fucking...
That's called fucking hard. Having a good time. That's what that's called. You know what I'm saying? Letting that busted Pookie just, you know what I mean, have his way within 90 days. Oh, man.
It hurts. And I'm mad with me. I'm not mad at men. I'm not mad at my life. I'm mad at me.
Hey, shout out to this young woman, not only for telling her truth and holding herself accountable. She's on here, no makeup. She's on here, no wig. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? As far as the whole, crying thing, absolutely not. But taking accountability, I respect it, and not wearing makeup and being on here natural. You know what I'm saying? Some of these women can't even go on here natural like that. They done worn them wigs so much, the wigs done ripped all the hair off their forehead and their head or whatever, calling it alopecia. No, it's called you putting that glue on your head. You always wearing a wig instead of doing something with your head. It's called being trifling. That's what it's called.
The shit that hurts is realizing that, hey, I got some shit with me that I don't know how to fucking fix. And in turn, because I don't know how to fix that shit, I'm fucking up other people around me.
This is so brave of her, and I feel this is the first step to healing.
I ain't gonna lie. A lot of women don't like being held accountable. And I know as men we're like, well, we do this every day. That was kind of, the crying thing she did. But, she's a woman. That's honestly her basking in her femininity. Women cry. They cry. You know what I'm saying? Do I approve of that online? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's a woman basking in her femininity, man. And then holding herself accountable, and not on here with makeup on and her best outfit and her best wig glued to perfection with the baby hairs. Nah, on here looking raw, being real. We got to give her a little bit for that. We got to give her a little bit for that. Come on, y'all.
Hope more women open up. I think most marriages throughout history have been more about survival than down inside. This is how most modern women feel. They act tough and say they don't need a man, but really they do. They're unable to come out and say it because they lack taking accountability. These women would rather suffer in silence rather than opening up and being truthful, not realizing that's making them more and more miserable until they break down.
No one prepares you for the loneliness that you feel in your 20s. I'm currently sitting alone in my apartment. It is 1 a.m. I'm drinking water out of a wine glass because it's the only thing I have clean. And all of my friends are either with their boyfriends, with their husbands, with someone. And I feel like
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not. Please. My brothers, my sisters, please. I'm not. I'm not trying to be petty. I'm not. But her back looks a little wide. I'm just going to be real. Her back looks a little bit wide. That's all that I'm...
odd one out because I don't have anyone. I have myself and my dog. And don't get me wrong, I love being alone, but I just feel like people at this age are really selfish and you lose a lot of friends in the chaos of being in different phases of life, and it sucks.
Get the
and
sad
honestly, I
music.
just feel
Not cue the sad
forgotten
music.
about and pushed to the side. Welcome to your 20s.
Please don't catcall me unless you're attractive. Unless you're a 7, 8, 9, or 10. If you're a 10.
I don't even want to see this chick. Put that away. I want to skip it, but it's part of the video, gentlemen. Don't ever fall for any of these thirst trap and then trying to tell you that they don't want attention. You know what I'm saying? While being, covered in makeup and jewelry, while supposedly going for a run or a walk. No, absolutely not. This is attention seeker. That's what that is. I would skip it, but we got to play it through for the video or whatever. But don't fall for these traps, man.
10, you're probably not catcalling. But don't do it. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that unless you're sexy.
I thought catcalling was creepy and weird. This is the same standard women have for themselves when it comes to the gym. If an attractive guy hits on her at the gym, it makes it okay. But if it's not, it's creepy.
But the problem is you don't know who she finds attractive. If you're not attractive to her, you're a creep. Who does she find attractive? How do you know she's going to be attracted to you? Even if you think you're a Chad or Tyrone, she might not think so. Or she might want to humble you that day, even if you are attractive.
The bottom line is, women are fine being catcalled as long as you're attractive. They're just angry at it when someone unattractive is doing it to them. In their imagination, they think they're so pretty that only certain men should be allowed to hit on them. What a joke.
We need to normalize being young and being single.
Hi, sorry to insert my opinion, but who's we? Correct me if I'm wrong, but there has never in the history of ever been a time where it's been more normalized to be single than now. In fact, 74% of millennials and Zoomers use dating apps, and I'd beg to say that over half of that population just goes on dating apps to fuck. However, I don't think people choose to be single for necessarily the right reasons. It's okay, we can be honest here. A lot of us don't choose to be single because of self-growth.
Hey, we're going to need to go ahead and put a divide on this. She's not, I'm assuming what she said millennials and zennials, and she didn't specify women, but I'm going to tell you something. Dudes don't give a crap about it. If y'all are on dating apps giving it up, there's going to be dudes that's going to be taking it because they're in their 20s and all they can think about is just, busting that nut. You know what I'm saying? So, that's y'all's problem, right? So I don't know what this whole thing is where she's trying to, no, most women aren't on no self-healing journey and don't have it together and will act like they do. But as far as men go, I could care less. I've been celibate for 2 years. I have not even masturbated. You know what I'm saying? I am focused on getting to where I need to get at. And I will wait until the right woman comes along. I doubt that most women can go 6 months keeping their legs closed unless they got an STD.
Growth and development, we do so because we have major commitment issues. I'm just gonna say it. I feel like we have way too many choices, and we also have
Hey, what's going on, Karma? What's going on, sweetheart? How you doing?
Way too many ideals for what a relationship should be, If they loved you, they would do this. If they did this, they would do that. Like, oh my god, you don't need that, girl. It's this, it just gets me so mad. I feel like it's this idea that you have to have someone obsessed with you all the fucking time.
Oh, thank you for the rose, Karma. That's so sweet of you. How are you doing tonight? I appreciate you coming up in here with some of that divine feminine energy. I know you see that hater that was trolling the crap out of my comments. I didn't care. Did she leave? Yeah, I think she might have left. I appreciate you coming through here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing fantastic. Just over here, burning the midnight oil. I just, you get those urges to get things done, and I'm just up knocking some things out. I love TikTok, so I find any reason to be on here. Absolutely. I knew that, the right kind of woman would show up if I'm on here maintaining the right kind of masculine energy. If I don't entertain a low vibrational troll, a good woman will show up. Just got to give it time.
What? No, I don't. Okay, well, explain this. They need to post you on your story. It's literally National Girlfriend's Day. Like the internet makes up these rules as to like if your man posts you on this, then that means you guys are like this. When I swear the most unhappiest couples will be posting each other all the damn time.
This chick gets it. This chick has escaped the matrix. She understands the what's it called, propaganda that's being fed to her to feel some type of way if you don't have certain things that other people have, or your couple status isn't a certain way. She gets it.
Time. Hold on, you're not in a relationship? Yeah, you're not off the hook, okay? Let's talk about situationships and how this sneaky link culture is just weird. You're still acting like you're in a relationship. And these like TikTok pages being like, here's how to get your lick back. Here's how to be toxic. It's like,
Yeah, she's really spitting right now. You see what she's talking about, sweetheart? She's spitting right now. You know what I mean? Like, she's telling you the whole agenda here being, pushed onto women. You guys, if dudes cheat, leave them. Don't try to get your lick back because you're just adding bodies to your count. That you don't need to, and you're not going to even care about that dude. That dude's going to get an experience with probably a decent chick, with maybe even, you probably been taking care of yourself, some pretty decent coochie. You're giving it away to some random guy because your dude ain't acting right. Leave him. Work on yourself and then upgrade. I'm focused. That's the way I think. I don't get licks back. I don't try to get, out here and be in the streets doing. I'm not. You spread yourself out thin. You create soul ties, all kind of weird type of things. You're getting demons on you from other people, spiritual demons. You got to keep it going, man. Just let it go. Don't get caught up in all of the propaganda to go back and forth. Just let it go. You know what I mean? You'll feel better. And the other person that's doing whatever they did to you, God bless them. You know what I'm saying? Bless their heart.
what? No wonder why y'all don't know how to be in relationships, because you're still acting on this basis of like trying to be manipulative to get them to like you. It's like you're like this with all your men. You're being like, okay, let me tug this one this way and tug this one that way, and then like let me reply to this text at 9:03 because.
Protect this woman at all cost. Protect this woman at all costs. She looks like she's in her 20s and she's putting 20-something-year-old women onto game. You know what I'm saying?
Because he texted me an hour earlier. Like, fuck, dude.
That was beautifully said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Social media has given these women way too many choices. At the first sign of any issues in the relationship, they threaten to leave, which is showing a lack of commitment. They start hopping from guys to guys until they're ready to settle, but that never actually works out. They all end back on social media screaming, "Men don't want me."
Book is based on a survey where men and women were asked if they got.
You just have to focus on what's important. And, I get it, ladies. You have some guy, you put your heart into him, and then he goes and cheats. But do you think that the guy that you go through your DMs, or the dude that's been texting you like, I'll do better, I'll treat you so much better, do you think those dogs are really worth your coochie? Let's be real. Like, do you think that those dudes that you're going to probably lay with to get back at that, do you think that they're really worth your coochie, adding the extra bodies, when you could just leave that bum, work on yourself, let that coochie tighten up, man, you know what I'm saying, and then get a guy that's better than the previous guy after giving yourself a little bit of healing time? It's going to make your marketplace value go up. If you spread it thin and get your revenge, lays on, and some of y'all, y'all lay with some women too. You're doing a whole lot. Who's really losing in that situation? The dude turned you out. You can't even find yourself no more. At that point, he turned you out. He won.
80% of everything they want in their ideal mate, would they be happy with that? And women said, no, that's settling. And men said, 80%, I'd be thrilled, that's a catch. And so
80% of the women you surveyed is settling?
That's settling because, the question is, what actually makes us happy in long-term romantic love? And, that's the question that I explore in the book. And I'm a journalist, so I went out and I asked neurobiologists about chemistry, and I asked behavioral economists about demographics, and I asked marital researchers.
What are women too picky about here?
Well, I'll tell you, men and women were asked what would be a deal breaker for going on a second date. And men named 3 things. They said she has to be cute enough. She doesn't have to look like Angelina Jolie. She just has to be cute enough. She has to be warm and kind. And she has to be interesting to talk to. Those seem like really valid criteria.
Ding, 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 ding. Pretty simple.
Right. Okay, reasonable, right? The women came back with 300 things that would rule out a guy for a second date. And we're talking about like another 2 hours and maybe a free dinner. And they wouldn't do it. And there were things like he wore a brown belt with black shoes. Or we were having a really good time and I thought he was cute and he was interesting. But then he did this Austin Powers impression. And I just can't get that out of my mind and I can't go out with him again. Austin Powers guy could be the love of her life.
Even if I met all 5,000 things on
Sweetheart, I'm telling you, man, like a lot of the women nowadays just have so many options. Like, I have so many women that study me and they're looking for something wrong, and you don't have to look far. I don't hide, like the shadow elements of myself. I like to give women, a complete representation of myself up front. And that way you can be like, nah, I'm good. Or you'll be like, maybe. And then over time, you'll be like, oh, he's a really good dude. But I'm not one of those guys that just fake it like that, man. Just be upfront with it.
On that list, for their happiness and expectations, I'd rather be alone and living for myself than someone else. If you find the perfect man, that ticket...
It's too much, man. They have too many options. They're picking apart guys like me who are, doing pretty well, single father, taking care of his son by himself, having to start over after a horrible divorce or whatever. These women are picking apart guys like me, man, just to, because most of them know they don't really qualify. So it's easier to disqualify themselves than to, possibly get rejected.
All the boxes. How would that make you feel in comparison? The last thing I want in a woman is...
Yeah, I'm happier being single in the sense of, it's not like I'm the kind of guy that wants to never date, But I would rather just wait until it's a woman I know is going to bring me some peace, not playing a bunch of dating games. So, absolutely, I am definitely happier being single and, waiting until I find the right kind of woman that can bring me, some more peace, add to my peace. We can have fun together, hang out, all that good stuff. Have light goals and stuff like that, vet each other properly, you know what I'm saying? But have a good time. I don't want a woman taking me too serious to where when I'm like, hey, let me see what that thing do. Like, send me a couple pictures and that, you ain't got to be, but let me see that booty. Something like that. If I say stuff like that, I'm just a man being a man. Don't act like you're some kind of saint or something like that. You're not Mother Teresa. At some point in time, you sent that kind of stuff to somebody. I'm not Russell Wilson. I want to see it. I want to see it. If I say it in the right timing or whatever, which I will, I want to see it. She ain't playing.
Perfection. Women these days are not looking for Mr. Right. They're looking for a Mr. Right now. Then bitch about the fact there's no...
And also, ladies, you got to remember, I'm asking for these pictures too for 2 reasons. You need to be looking at it, seeing what's going on, because you ain't going to surprise me with no breakout or nothing like that. If I'm getting consistent pictures before we do what we do, and we're meeting up and we're FaceTiming, you get a cold sore, I'm going to see it. It's going to be like, okay, well, I'm out. The picture thing is important. You know what I'm saying? It's about making sure that everything's on the up and up without doing any of that kind of exchanging. I don't know what you're going to serve to me. You could be hiding all kind of stuff. You could be like, well, I'm taking this medication. No, we're not doing none of that. I want to know what you got so I can run away. You know what I'm saying? And don't take no offense to it, because there's plenty of dudes out there that will do that with you if you have that. But me, I'm not going to. So if you got anything, I'm running. Cold, so I'm running. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad at me. It's just me. Just one person.
Never any good man around. In conclusion, you cannot make anyone happy. Everyone is responsible for their own happiness. It doesn't matter what you do or how you do it. It will never be enough for the women today. That's why it's better to look after yourself and focus on what you got going on. People say modern women will die alone, but we all die alone. We want to live life, and only with someone who is the perfect one, rather alone than unhappy.
I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but that feeling when you feel like you're alone, and it can't get any lonelier than this, bro.
We need to normalize being single in your 30s and restarting later on in life. And I know a lot of people listen. That's always something that, it's more females, but they'll be like, I got divorced or I broke up. Now I don't know what to do because they were my whole life. And so I think it's just good to hear that.
One thing that I thought about was like if people really do live longer, right? So let's say we all live to be 100.
Yeah. Scary.
Which
No, thank you.
I think well, women live longer than men.
Yes.
And I think the average life expectancy for women right now is like close to 80.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can do it.
I don't give a shit about none of that. We're gonna do better. I don't hear none of that goofy stuff. I ain't gonna hear that. I don't know what kind of conversation.
No,
this is.
I just need you to stop being nice to me unless you're gonna marry me after.
Here's what your Friday night looks like when you're single, 29, and you don't have kids yet. I decided to take myself out on a date last night and treated myself to some Caesar salad and bolognese, and it was so, so good. And then a friend of mine texted me to come over, and I did, and so we did some tarot, which was super fun.
I knew
guess
it.
we didn't rise out of bed until 10:45.
Dude, I'm these tarot chicks, man. It's an epidemic, man. You have to be careful. You don't know if these chicks are tarot chicks and are dibbling and dabbling in witchcraft. You gotta ask her questions. Are you spiritual? These chicks will be thinking that they can manifest you. They'll try to give you menstrual in the spaghetti. They'll be charging stones in the moonlight. They'll be having altars and all kind of stuff, man. You don't never know. Goodness gracious alive, can we get a break? She threw that in there casually, like that's just a normal, we did some tarot. Well, you might as well say you did some cocaine. What are you talking about? That's not normal to do witchcraft just because you're bored.
Why
would we pay for drinks at the Clock Hotel?
Why? Who's paying?
I'm just being honest. They're trying to normalize witchcraft. I can see the propaganda. They're trying to make it seem like that tarot thing is so. They're promoting it on YouTube like crazy. No, man, that's witchcraft. They're openly doing. They don't have a man for a reason. She's 28 with no kids and no man for a reason. You get karma when you out there doing that witchcraft crap, man.
Old men.
You guys into sugar daddies?
Yes. We're looking for a double sugar daddy date.
What have you got to offer the sugar daddy?
We have nothing. Ones where they don't want me. And
Red gang.
my friends are strippers.
Girls, can you tell us something your mum doesn't know?
We are both cocaine addicts.
We love Coke.
It's all fun and games until they reach 30. Then they start to feel the weight of their poor decisions when they were younger.
You know what's interesting that people don't
Party,
normally
party,
talk
party.
about is that the pretty girls are often the absolutely loneliest, most torn apart.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about them for a whole hot second before she starts babbling. The real pretty girls are the ones been ran through the most. The real pretty girls are the ones that are the most traumatized. The real pretty girls are the ones that believe that you're supposed to worship the ground they walk on. The real pretty girls are the ones that believe that you're supposed to approach them even if they're going to turn you down. The real pretty girls will get online and make it seem like people are against them and they have a hard time getting people when they're ton of DMs. They're getting, plenty of guys that are texting them, plenty of requests online, all kind of stuff. This woman is just babbling. She just needs attention. This is what pretty girls do. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous, man, but let's let her spill.
Bullied girls. When I was in high school, I was categorized as like the pretty girl. I was in the rural Midwest and I wore makeup, so like it doesn't say much about me. It's just like what people talked about me as. Like people would just put me under that label.
No single woman over 35 is.
Hey, shout out to her for being humble and not saying, she kind of like, was letting you know that she didn't label herself that. People labeled her that because, Midwest, and she wore a little bit of makeup. So shout out to her for being kind of humble on that.
She's happy being single. That's a lie. In a public face. In private, she's crying at night. Unhappy. Wishing she had someone to talk to and comfort and be the man in her life. Let's keep it real. Red flag.
Can we start normalizing being single?
I told you, a lot of women out here be like, I'm single by choice and I'm happy. But at night, like I said before, they're crying themselves to sleep. They're looking in the mirror saying affirmations to help themselves get to sleep at night because they are lonely and they're trying not to be depressed. I'm telling you, it's sad. That explains them getting online with so much aggression. You know what I'm saying? Like in the malice and the hate. They're mad. Big mad.
And that it's okay to not be in a relationship or want to be in a relationship at this time? Please.
If you're over 30, still single, and wish you weren't, I've got some good and bad news for you. The bad news is it's your...
The heart, sweetheart. I didn't even notice your heart of the live stream. Thank you for the hearts. TikTok just told me that I'm age restricted. Why wasn't I age restricted in the first place? You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be 18 and up from the get-go. I'm not on here promoting anything for anyone under 18. This is grown business. They should, restrict mine to 18 and up every time I go live.
Your fault. The good news is, because it's your fault, you can do something about it. First, get your butt outside. You are not going to meet a 10 sitting on your couch. Second, learn to flirt. Starting can be as simple as paying a playful compliment like, you have a phenomenal smile, to the barista who makes your coffee in the mornings. And third, close this app. Let's be honest, it is mostly a distraction.
I think there are so many women in this sort of situation who end up single in their 30s who are amazing and they don't seem to be meeting the right, a guy that matches up to their level. But I think there's something to be said about the fact that when you are in your 30s and you have your own success and you've built your own life and you're independent, you don't need someone. So they have to be really, really special for you to want to actually invest your time in them.
No, the problem they face is the fact that they turn into the man that they want. They're so picky at choosing a man, it's insane. They claim...
I've said it a million times. Women are out here becoming the men they want. They're getting their, degrees, getting their businesses, getting that C-Class Mercedes-Benz, all white, black trim, business credit cards, going on vacations, getting these big-ass houses, buying furniture with the credit cards, feeling everything. Like, okay, now I got everything together. Now I'm going to go out, going to the gym, getting surgeries as well, illegal surgeries, getting themselves together. And then by the time they get this done, they're, getting close to their 30s or in their early 30s. And they're like, okay, now I'm ready for the men I want. And the men that are their age or a little bit older are not looking at them. The energy is off. These women are trying to move in a way like they're a boss, which is fine, but you'll never be the boss of me. And I don't need that kind of energy around me, man. You've become the man that you want. And unfortunate for you, I'm not into men. I'm not into women that have that kind of masculine frame. I want you to be feminine in your energy. And no matter the gaslighting you do, as far as saying that I'm intimidated, I can't handle, whatever it is, it don't matter. You're never going to get me. Whine about it all you want to. Make it make sense to you. Say whatever you need to say to help yourself get to bed at night and look yourself in the mirror. I don't care.
All of this success is making them feel happy, but it is only temporary. What kind of woman is actually happy in a big, empty home by herself? There's so many successful women struggling to find a man right now. They keep saying men are intimidated, but the truth is they don't want those men because of the amount of money they make. Very shallow reason.
The fact Did I Marry storytime has had me in a chokehold, but I knew she was in her 30s as soon as I started listening, because women in their 30s are desperate.
Oh god. Yeah, look, shout out to everybody that joined me. You know, I didn't know I was gonna run it all the way up over an hour, but you know, I'm gonna upload this video to my YouTube channel, the Lone Wolf Narc Bully. Again, that's my YouTube channel, Lone Wolf Narc Bully. You guys go ahead and subscribe over there. It's a ton of content. Also, another YouTube channel, King David the Chosen. That channel's more spiritual, you know what I'm saying, and spiritual ascension. But Lone Wolf Narc Bully is straight up dating advice, reaction videos, that type of stuff. Miss Karma, I appreciate you joining me. You know, make sure that you guys are linking up with me, ladies, over on Instagram, King David the Chosen. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the biological women that join me over there. If you're not a biological woman and you're doing, don't be sending me any friend requests on some weirdo stuff. Hey, whatever your wishful thinking is not the reality of the situation. I need for you to understand that. I need for y'all to understand that. You can project all you want to, but when I tell you I like biological women, I mean what I say. You can play around all you want to, but that don't make it a reality. You can have all kind of wishful thinking and dream all you, it don't make it a reality. I'm telling you. Know what I mean? I'm coming over to my TikTok live streams and then on Instagram, that goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'm your brother, and I'm out.